So you want to work in big tech companies like Google and Facebook, or create your own startup like Airbnb and Instagram? OmniQuotient is here to help. OmniQuotient is an online learning platform where you can learn something new from prominent developers every day while creating meaningful connections with them. Just go to omniquotient.com. Follow the topics that you want to learn and the developers you want to learn from. Share your tips and tricks in coding and interact with other developers. Join the OmniQuotient community today.
What I've seen that hinders a lot of people in general is they believe that doing their job well actually gets them promoted.
How would you demystify AI for a 10-year-old?
It's actually harder to explain AI to an older person. Hi, welcome to CTOsDiscuss. Hello.
Hi.
Good evening.
Everyone. Thank you again for joining us this Saturday evening. And this episode is quite special. So as you guys have probably seen from our social media posts, we've invited two special guests today. And this is really, towards our theme for the coming month or July and June, which is IT as a career. No, so we've invited two software engineers, and not just software engineers at that. These guys are actually CEO and CTO of White Cloak Technologies. They are a IT solutions development services provider or company in the Philippines, and they are joining us this evening.
So let's welcome CEO and CTO of White Cloak, Donn and Miguel.
Hello.
Hi, Migs.
Naka-mute
Hi,
yan,
Albert. Hi, Jerv.
Don.
Donn, you're on mute. Come on. Technology. And
Ganun
also your
talaga.
black screen.
Yun yung ano.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Okay.
Okay lang. Antayin na lang natin siya. By the way, guys, for those who are watching us live this evening, pagka may tanong kayo sa amin, no? So we actually got some questions already from you guys. But if you guys have questions live for our guest speakers this evening, please just put them in the comments and then we will read them. And then sasagutin sila ng ating distinguished guests for tonight. So siguro while we wait for Don, Migs, baka gusto mo introduce mo yung sarili mo, what you guys do, what's White Cloak, what's your role? Go ahead.
Yes, so I'm Miguel Fermin. I'm the Chief Technology Officer of White Cloak. And I think kagaya ng ibang viewers natin dito, nag-start din ako as a software engineer. Yun. And hindi pa nga sikat yung term na software engineer back then. Parang we just called ourselves like programmer or coder. Yeah, I think it evolves over time. And yeah, I think over the span of 5 years, yeah, I became the Chief Technology Officer of White Cloak. And now we're leading a company with over 180 plus employees na. And yeah, we work with various clients na rin. And like the one who came from Jerv and Union Bank, Ayala Land, yeah.
Ayan, looks like Don is back. Hi, Don.
Hey guys, sorry I got disconnected. Right.
You're just in time actually because Migs just finished his introduction. So now it's your turn.
All right. Hi guys, I'm Don, CEO and founder of White Cloak. So I'm particularly involved in high-level planning and strategies, but I used to be a developer as well. So in fact, I worked with Jerb in Union Bank to build Union Bank Online 2 or 3 years ago, I guess. So back then, Jerb was
5 or 4 na ata.
4 years.
Oo. Ang bilis lang kasi, no? Ang bilis lang.
So,
galing.
So it's such an incredible journey, and now, yun nga, parang we've come so far. Parang Jerb's now CTO of UBX, and now we have a team of 180 at White Cloak, and we have so much clients and projects right now. So
cool. Maybe you can talk more about White Cloak. Like, what do you guys do? Who are your target customers, for example? Are you guys hiring? Any plug for White Cloak siguro before we start?
Go.
Yeah, thanks for that opportunity, Jerb. No, kasi actually, yeah. So first of all, White Cloak is specialized on custom app development. So particularly, we use native and Flutter for the front end, and then for the back end, we're using different languages, but we use Node.js, Java Spring, and yeah, other technologies as well. Our target market is really mostly conglomerates and bigger companies because we are really focusing on quality, and we can only provide quality if we really have the right budget for it. So it's a good
Interesting
opportunity then to plug in pala kasi we have this upcoming batch training program where we train fresh grads and career shifters in a
Ooh.
5-month program. So this one, you don't have to
Sorry,
pay.
how many months?
Sorry, what?
How long is
Ilang
the
months
program?
yung program?
5 months. Yeah, 5 months. So
Cool.
4 months is gonna be full-time training. You'll have mentors. We'll have practical exams, machine exercises, and then on your last month, you're gonna have a capstone project. And then if you pass it, you're gonna have a software engineering role at White Cloak. So we have 30 slots for this batch, and yeah, kasi maraming nag-offer na training, but this one you actually get paid in full just for attending the training. So it's a very exciting kasi this is our third batch already, and the first two batches were very successful. Some of them are now our DevOps engineer. Some of them are part of big projects for many conglomerates. So it's only getting better each year. So if you're interested, head over to our website, whitecloak.com/careers.
Cool. And you mentioned this is open for career shifters. So kahit hindi programmer, pwede? Or
Yes.
kailangan may alam na?
Yes.
Hindi ka lang nag-program na before. Like, it's a advantage. For example, we have architects and engineers na hindi related sa tech, but they took some courses yan sa BB Udemy, ganyan, or any other online courses. It's already, kasi for us, so we're gonna train you naman from the fundamentals to the more specialized tracks. We think na you having that initiative to like take charge, parang self-learn, that's already a good indicator that you're gonna be a culture champion here at White Cloak.
Galing. Cool. Mukhang
Okay.
sobrang timely sa topic natin din, Bert, no? About
Yeah.
IT as a career.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, by the way, I'm curious actually, no, Don, for you and ikaw din, Migs, like, how did you guys start your career? And I think people would be curious as well, no? Nagkaroon din ba ng bootcamp dati na sinalihan kayo? Or IT na talaga kayo from the start? Did you also do career shifting? Anong story nyo?
Right. maybe si Mix naman ang mag-start now.
Oh,
Okay, yeah. I think yun, sa akin hindi actually IT yung first choice ko. After graduating high school, my initial choice of course is accounting. Yan.
Hindi ko
Back in
alam,
high school kasi we have this subject about accounting where they taught us how to create balance sheets, ganyan. Meron pa mga books, yeah. I already forgot yung mga accounting terms. Where you have to balance yung debit and credits, things like that. So it became my obvious choice for my career.
Na-excite ka doon sa balancing accounting?
Yeah. Oo. Yeah. Funny enough, after going dun sa school na na gusto kong school, wala silang available na course na accounting. And IT lang yung meron, and computer science. So, syempre, no choice. I took IT instead. With the influence of my brother na parang he recommended IT rin kasi yung nasabi nga niyang nung tinanong ko sa kanya, ano yung ginagawa ng IT? Sabi niya, yung nakikita mo yung mga elevator, parang it goes up and down. Parang there's actually a system that's running it. And yun, ang nag-create nun is mga IT. Yan. So,
literal na elevator pitch, ah.
Oo nga, no?
Yeah. Pero
I'm
even
curious
back
ako,
then
Migs.
kasi,
When is
go.
back then? Like, what is this year?
2009?
2009. Okay, so we're actually around the same time. Okay,
Yep.
cool.
Then, yeah, I think it, parang I was able to decide on the spot then since sobrang nabilis mag-decide, no? Parang plinano ng accounting tapos biglang decide ng IT. Since interested din talaga ako sa mga games. Yan.
Mm.
I remember sa Warcraft, puso na yung pag-edit ng mga maps, yan, mga scripts. Um, so medyo may pagka-techy na rin ako and hindi lang siya parang I'm just playing games, parang I'm already customizing nga yung mga games. Tapos, yeah, ayun. After that, yeah, I choose na yung IT. And that's how I get I started as an IT professional na rin. And I think yung isang interesting insight ko doon is, yeah, things really don't go as planned.
True.
Totoo. Parang dapat mag-adjust ka kaagad. Buti na lang.
Yeah.
At least now,
Don.
Go.
Sorry, Migs, you were saying, ipapapasa natin kay Don so mag-finish ka muna. Ano yung...
Yeah. I think to continue lang din, yun, I think after graduating college then, doon ako mas na-expose sa mga IT projects like web development, yan, game development. Initially, I started as parang student lang din, yan, helping other students do yung mga thesis projects nila. So I got exposed to build different projects.
Teka. For payment ba to?
Ano for payment?
Like you're helping other students with their thesis projects, tapos binabayaran ka nila.
I think I called it parang tawang gawa.
3 out of 3 na tayo dyan. Ako, ganyan din ako dati.
Gawa. Sounds familiar. You know?
Yeah.
Side hustle.
I think sobrang I'm really looking forward for challenges din kasi that time. I think until now naman. So, yeah, pag meron na makita mga parang may problem ka dito sa project na to, maybe I can help you, ganyan.
Yeah.
But sometimes, yeah, they would treat me, and I think that's also the reason how I got to explore a lot of fields then and build different kind of applications. Pero yeah, something na remarkable talaga is during my freelance days then is uso pa yung mga sa laro na Ragnarok online. Usually marami nagke-create ng mga private servers. Tapos wherein you can actually edit yung source code nung mga laro na yon. Kasi yun, in a way naging business siya. Wherein ako as web developer, meron kami nakukuhang mga kliyente na gusto magpagawa ng website for their private server. Ganyan, gusto magpagawa ng mga custom plugins like they want to support PayPal for donations or payments. Yan, para magkaroon ka ng advantage sa game.
After college na to or while in college?
I think second year and third year college ko siya in-start.
Yeah. Yan.
Second year, third year, fourth year. Yan. Kasi yan, pag-customize ng
entrepreneur na. Freelancer na.
Yeah. Yan. And partner, I didn't did it on my own lang din. Parang yung brother ko kasi, meron siya sariling private server din. So, yan, ako yun. Saka siya nanghihingi ng tulong. And I guess, for 3 years, umabot ako, yun yung ginagawa ko din.
Galing. How about you, Don? Paano nagsimula yung IT career mo? IT ba talaga yung una or iba?
Yeah, siguro I'll start with career choice, course choice. Parang very similar with Mix, na parang I wasn't so sure back then what course to take. Parang same din with Mix na I had this passion for Warcraft, Ragnarok, programming, technology in general. Pero when I asked my parents if I could take ComSci, parang di na ako pinayagan. Kasi parang I got admitted sa Ateneo. Tapos sabi nila, ba't ka mag-ComSci? I mean, kung magko-ComSci ka, stay ka na lang sa Olonga po, may AMA naman daw, tsaka STI. Parang ganun. So, kasi yung flagship ng Ateneo is Management Engineering daw.
Management Engineering.
Yeah, so that's what I took. I took up ME. But I guess yung start talaga ng career ko sa IT, I would trace it back sa elective na kinuha ko sa Ateneo, which is ComSci 101. So, yung elective, ayan, sa Ateneo kasi we're given some subjects that we can choose from other disciplines aside from your major. And I took up CS 101. And doon ko na-discover na I have this talent kasi, well, for one, I aced the class. Tapos, parang ano talaga, I felt like I had that natural talent to code. But then, after graduating from Ateneo, I was in the finance industry. So, I was employed at Citibank. No, but after 1 year, parang I wanted to build something kasi parang I felt like I wanna go back dun sa passion ko na mag-program. So there's this, actually yung start ng White Cloak is I wanted to build this parang financial literacy app, parang stock screener. So kasi sa finance, parang there's this very expensive terminal. It's called Bloomberg Terminal, where you
Yeah.
get to parang get analytics of certain stocks, ganyan, yung mga charts and so on. But it's so expensive, like maybe 2.5 million per year. Parang ganun yung cost niya. So I wanted to build something na it's free for everybody and it's not super full of jargons kasi parang may barrier to entry na mag-invest because it's so technical. Parang I wanted to make something na for layman's talaga. Para kasi I feel like anybody can invest, even enough research, enough time, enough effort.
Right.
Ayun. It's very cheap to invest in stocks na parang 5K. Yeah, that's you can open an account na sa CitySec. But yun nga, parang I founded White Cloak to build that app. Pero upon further studies, we found na parang it's not really feasible. Kasi for one, yung commercial license pa lang ng pagkuha ng market data from stock exchanges or even from secondary sources like Thomson Reuters, Bloomberg,
Yeah.
it's super expensive. So parang we thought na why don't we just, kasi parang I assembled the team, parang some of which are high school friends, some I met sa Ateneo. So I formed the team, parang we have a capability to build software naman. Why don't we just start, having, parang building an app for other clients. So that's
So
how
full-time kayo nito? Were you guys full-time?
not everyone. Parang ang full-time is me, Kim, yan. Si Migs is our first employee. Yan, tas si Anto, one of our first
This
employees.
will be interesting. We'll talk about how he rose through the ranks,
Oo, kasi madalas
Well,
na
first
tanong yan
employee,
dito.
not that much to rise from. So,
Yes.
yeah, sorry, Don. Go ahead.
Yeah, so, ayun, siguro, because bootstrap company nga kami, we didn't have any backers. Parang I had to learn iOS development din on my own. Kasi, Android si Migs, tapos we have a web developer din. Si Migs nagka-backend din, pero wala kaming iOS. So, parang okay, just to complete yung natin, yung scope natin for one project, I'll just do iOS. So from there, ayun, parang I took on the role of a software engineer as well. Tapos from there, yun nga, syempre naangat na from doing all the business stuff, accounting, HR, coding. Tapos ngayon, parang I'm now on the high level side of things. Pero I'm pretty much involved pa rin like sa hiring process namin and sa promotion, sa career advancement. Kasi we set the framework, and then of course to set out to test yung framework and yung system na build namin for career progression, I have to test it out myself. So, yan, parang I get to interview not just applicants pero yung mga internal employees na nag-apply for promotions. So, yun, looking to share all those insights that I have with you guys tonight.
Cool.
Yeah,
Questions,
why
Brett?
don't we
Go ahead.
why don't we jump in straight to actually that? I'm curious already, Don. Like say, I'm curious. You set up your career progression. So why don't we talk about that? Like just your general idea that you built, what worked for you, and how that actually works.
Yeah, so we've set up like a couple of major frameworks last year. Now we're already executing since early this year. One is for yung what we call promotional boards. So dati kasi when we were small, it's easy to know parang who deserves a promotion or not. Who we're gonna parang take
Recognize.
from software engineer to a manager. Siyempre with people skills or someone na parang more fit for specialized programming. Parang senior, there's still career progression pero hindi people skills. So we made these promotional boards wherein you get to apply for a promotion or a career shift. So what you do is basically it's like applying for a job. You create an internal resume, So it's really like just like a resume, pero you're able to discuss kasi yung mga confidential stuff unlike sa resume mo kasi nga NDA and stuff. And then you present that to the panel. So the panel is composed of C-levels, your supervisor, and HR, and
Mm.
one peer from your department. So that's how we do it. And then
Interesting.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's for career progression. So yeah, maraming insights from there. Pero I feel like mag-jump ako sa ibang topics natin for tonight.
Yeah.
Pero we have this other framework naman. It's called Managers Performance Development Framework. And this one is rooted from the fact na parang recently kasi we created a new role called engineering managers. So and dati kasi so everybody software engineers are reporting to scrum masters, and then the scrum masters report to a VP tapos si Migs. So medyo magulo siya kasi when we rotate yung mga projects, parang nag-iiba yung supervisor. So there's no one person who's actively guiding that same person throughout his career sa White Cloak. So we made this engineering manager role wherein ang goal talaga nila is really to coach and guide yung mga software engineers to be better, to get better. So syempre, most of these engineering managers are also used to be programmers. So all they do is really code and usual things that you do during sprints, sprint planning and meetings. They collaborate, but they don't personally like handle direct reports. So they don't have any experience. So we created this framework where we set yung not just responsibility ng managers but certain activities that will help them parang put some parang structure to how they coach their direct reports. So
Yeah.
among the key program elements is they have monthly recurring check-ins. And then during those check-ins, there are a couple of agenda. Like for example, there is goal setting, and the goal setting framework that we have is related to the company OKRs. So that means that whatever they're doing, it's already we make sure that it's contributing to the goals of the
OKRs.
departmental and company OKRs. And
Yeah.
then we
For
have
those who don't know pala, OKRs are objectives and key results.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
go ahead then.
yeah, ayun. And then so that's the monthly check-ins, and then we have quarterly check-ins naman. Para we have continuous appraisals. So sa appraisals naman, the supervisor would assess from a set criteria kung ano yung parang performance grade ni direct reports. So we do this quarterly versus yung usual na annual. Kasi we felt like from our experience then, it's very biased yung annual towards yung last 3 months. Parang kasi medyo short-sighted tayo eh. We have a very short memory. And so we don't wanna base the promotion just on the recent events. So what we did was there's a quarterly assessment, and then from there, based on mga grades, you could either be endorsed for promotional boards, or pagka underperforming ka naman, we put you into a performance improvement program. So
This is quite interesting for a management perspective.
Mhm.
I'm also curious, like, okay, knowing this, like from a developer perspective, no, who's
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
like, hey, how do I get promoted here in your organizational promotional framework? Like, are people skills important? Can you like what are your stances there?
Right. So that's a very good question, Albert. No, kasi from the MPDF, that's one of the things na parang we saw as a pain point before we had that framework. Kasi parang, how do I get promoted nga? What exactly do I have to do? Do I focus on technical or my soft skills, communication, and so on? So sa MPDF, what we did was there's a per role, say software
Sorry, what does
engineer,
MPDF mean?
managers performance development
Okay,
framework.
got it. Got it.
Yeah. So sorry, it's internal term. So yun, parang we have a set criteria, and from those criteria, parang for example, an example of criteria is job mastery. So sa job mastery, we have a competency matrix. Parang per levels yan, mid 1, mid 2, mid define kung ano yung expectation. There are different aspects or facets. So it could be communication skills, could be, depende rin per role. Tapos another assessment criteria would be, say, work ethics. So ayun, yung assessment criteria is also based on White Cloak's core values. So meaning we're integrating yung core values namin directly into their performance.
So
For
how about if
example,
there's somebody who's really, really good, technically speaking, but medyo nagkukulang sa, sa ibang mga areas dyan?
yeah.
Like,
So for
how do you
example,
deal with that?
yeah, so that's why it's important na meron kaming monthly check-ins. Kasi from the last quarterly check-in, so ideally, the supervisor would rate that person as needs attention, say under work ethics or under service focus. Tapos every month, they check up on it if it's improving. They check up on the goals. Kaya as opposed to before the framework na sobrang escalated na yung employee underperformer before pa siya makorek. So dito, every month, there's continuous improvement kasi nga we get to see their progress, and it's a two-way conversation naman between the direct report and the supervisor.
So this is
Yeah.
so basically they really have to comply with like the criteria, even like for example, not just technical, also the other parts.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So correct. So by comply, meaning so meron na kaming tatlong grades either needs attention, meets expectation, or standout. Para very clear, para pag scale kasi ng 1 to 10, it's very subjective and it's defined din Pagka needs expectations ka, meaning you're not performing as expected. Therefore, you can be put into a PIP, and worst case, you can be terminated. Parang ganun siya. So that we can raise the bar high for our company.
Got it. So Don and Migs, maybe Migs can also chime in. There are people or there are devs who might think like, like I think it's not really important to have like these other skills, right? Aside, I'm a good programmer. I get the job done. Why do I have to do all these other things, right? Why, like whether it's communication, whether it's like I don't know, friendliness. What
Correct.
else do you have? Like other non-programming related skills. If I'm a really good programmer already and I get the job done, why is it important? Like, here's your chance to justify, like, or like give wisdom to those people who
Or you
ask
want to
these
go
questions.
first, Don?
Yeah, maybe I'll go first. So
Okay.
so we have two sets of parang grade system na related. So again, assessment criteria is very high level in a sense that we combine technical and culture values. Pero
Okay.
for those things na kunyari nga, communication skills, medyo mas I still consider that's technical parang skill talaga siya. We have a competency matrix. And the competency matrix is different, tailor-fit for each role. So meaning, for example, we're not gonna expect naman na you're gonna be a great communicator kagad as a junior software engineer. Kasi hindi pa naman yun yung parang importance mo sa company. You could be a great rockstar developer kahit na parang you don't speak so much. As long as you're doing your job, you won't get parang escalated. But for other roles, so for example, sales, obviously, important yung communication skills. So it's really tailor-fit for the role. But it's also, so for example, you're going to be promoted from mid to maybe mid-senior. Yung communication skills mo will have to adjust as well. And that highlights our value na we don't think na just because you're very good at coding, you can already progress to whatever your goal is. Parang you still, parang parang you're given that guidance na you have to work on other facets as well, hindi lang yung technical.
But this is where they say like, why? Like, that's just where like the gap is, right? Maybe.
Yeah, I
Migs?
think from that tech perspective, as someone na nag-start din as a developer na tahimik din talaga, hindi salita. I think as a team na I think we're facing a certainty during the development, and there's a lot of things that could happen na hindi nyo na foresee, and usually those problems you'll be able to solve it as a team and as individual. Then if you have a really good communication skill, let's say merong hindi clear na requirements na sinasabi yung client, so you need to ask questions about that requirement. So ano ba talaga yung expectation nila for this, ano ba yung value nito. So those communication skills will really help us build a really great product and accomplish yung goal nung nung project na yon. And most of the time din kasi as software engineers, parang di naman tayo lagi nagko-code din eh. We attend meetings, yan, sa Scrum pa lang, di ba, ang dami ng mga ceremonies na kailangan yan. You have to present your work sa sprint review demo, what the team have accomplished. So you might handle conflicts during the development, like merong hindi nagre-reply na developer, tapos kailangan niya na yung may dependency kayo sa kanya. So ayun, merong mga ganong problems talaga na or uncertainty na nangyayari during the development. So we want them to be prepared for that. So yun, kagaya na sinabi ni Don. Of course, pag junior ka, we won't really expect you na sobrang galing na ng communication skills mo, or you'll be able to communicate with the client or demo yung work mo sa client na hindi ka nag-stutter. So yan, pero yun, as you reach yung higher levels, like yun, we wanted to set the high bar then for our seniors na pagkausap siya ng client namin is they will really feel na this is a senior developer and this is what I'm paying for. And yun,
It includes
hindi lang siya
communications.
yeah, it includes communications. Communication. There are people na they would choose to focus more on technical. That's fine. It's also acceptable to us naman. We created din kasi yung competency matrix not as a checklist din na dapat ito ma-meet mo siya lahat. So we also try to weigh in yung value na napoprovide niya sa White Cloak, and ano yung mga strengths talaga niya na we really need dun sa project. Kasi we can always add kunyari, sa isang team, hindi naman kailangan lahat kayo sobrang okay yung communication skills mo na, di ba? So you could just add 3 seniors, tapos maybe some mid developers, yan, to augment sa mga seniors, and yan, automatically naman yan, they would be able to adapt sa mga situation. Usually, senior yung kakausap sa mga clients, ganyan. So, but yeah, I think, since we're a service provider then, and we empower our developers to talk directly to our clients, and we empower them, we give them the autonomy to resolve yung conflicts within the team na hindi na dapat aabot sa management. Yun, they really need yung mga soft skills din talaga, yan, to be able to overcome yung mga challenges na yun, not just yung technical skill.
Got it. Cool. Okay, so we're talking about people and developing their careers. For people who are just starting, like what's your advice?
Sige, maybe I'll start. My advice is, siguro for the fresh grads, join White Cloak.
I was gonna say, join our learning
training. Siguro, it's very important kasi your first job. Kasi, and I think, coming then from a position na yung fresh grad ako, I didn't know how to choose from different companies na pwedeng applyan. Siguro ang titignan mo as a siguro software engineer nga yung topic natin, as a software engineer, is not just yung compensation and benefits, but the actual work. Kasi minsan, it could be a very great title, parang associate ka kagad, parang associate programmer. Tapos yung job mo naman is more of maybe maintenance of legacy codes, which is for me, yung experience na yun isn't as valuable versus creating new apps talaga na new tech stack. Kasi very limited na lang yung gumagamit ng mga legacy codes. And most likely talaga, malaking offer doon. Kasi nobody would take it otherwise eh. Parang it's not a very good experience. And number 2, I guess common mistake to, don't just look at the company itself. For example, could be very enticing na kunyari you have an offer sa Google or even Apple, di ba? Very exciting.
What a very good example, huh?
Yeah, di ba? Pero yung position naman is technical support specialist. I have nothing against those guys. Pero if you're looking to be a rockstar software engineer in the future, baka hindi align sa career path mo. So you have to look at what you're gonna be doing on a day-to-day basis. Kasi yung malaki, for me, sobrang laki ng impact ng first job mo eh. That will be parang have high effect on your future career path. So when you get interviewed, ask nyo yung day-to-day responsibilities and what kind of trainings they will provide you, what kind of support, and how's it like to work with the team. Kasi syempre you wanna work with parang A people, dapat maganda yung culture kasi you won't grow if yung other peers mo are parang 9 to 5 sort of people kasi you won't push yourself then. So those are, I guess, top 2 mistakes na nakita ko, and it's for me very important to say it out now para less people na yung makagawa ng ganong mistakes. Ikaw, Migs.
My advice ka, Migs, for those who are just about, I guess, to start or select their first job for IT?
Yeah.
Be
Inisip ko
the
yung sa
first employee of Ateneo graduate. Ganun ba?
Yeah. I think to me it's also very important to find yung kind of company na na swak dun sa sa career na gusto mong i-take. Parang you
Yeah.
could be looking for a startup, or you could be corporate na yan, very stable na yun. Startup kasi 'di ba high risk, high reward siya. And you could be working with hindi pa ganun stable pero much bigger na than startup, like a service software development company. So I think there's different. Yung usual na na nakikita ko is either this is a company who maintain their own, meron silang sariling product nila na na mini-maintain. So if they hired you as a software engineer or developer, that you'll probably work on that on that product. Another one is yung things kagaya na tong kami nila Albert yan sa SIMP, di ba? We're a software development company. So usually you'll get exposed to different different projects, and yun mas malaki yung yung exposure niya. So you might want to look at that, yung yung dalawa na yun. Kung ano ba talaga yung tingin mo. Yeah, do you want to be deployed sa maraming projects agad in just span of 1 to 2 years? Parang you've handled 6 projects na agad? Or do you want to work in a company na yun nga, possibly for 2 years, isang product lang yung work on mo, and you're continuously adding new features to that to that product. So there's rin kasi a level of maturity rin when it comes sa pag-build ng product, and I think different talaga experience niya. Usually pag product company, mas advanced din yung mga technologies na na ginagamit nila, and usually siya very mature na yung setup nila kasi they've been building it for 2 years, di ba? Pag naman usually pag service company naman, laging from scratch yung yung project na mapupunta sa'yo. So yun, consider it, is it a product company or a service provider, a software development company you're looking for.
Yeah, that's interesting kasi even when you are there, then there's also choices on the projects that you support, right? So kahit na mature companies na or kahit hindi service companies, for example, you could be doing R&D work, and some people would be doing more scalability work talaga. No? So actually marami ding mga ganong instances that you get to actually choose if there are opportunities within a certain company. So siguro alamin mo yon, no, na at mas gusto ko pa laging bago kasi may mga kilala din ako na gusto nila yung ginagawa ko ginagamit talaga ng mga tao, no, and I see it through from start to finish. So actually good inputs there. Yeah interesting that you guys actually are din parang doing that parang matrix, no, of sorts. I'm curious on what you guys think about progression naman, no? Like, do you think that para ma-promote ka, you have to handle people, or at White Cloak ba you can get promoted by just your skills? I mean, including communication, all of that too. But when you say you get promoted to a I don't know, senior engineer, does that mean you have to handle people? Kasi some people, although I get it na kailangan important yung communication skills, collaboration. I mean, culture thing din kasi yun eh, no? Parang like yung
Yeah.
sinabi mo kanina, Migs, di ba, na depende sa company, may culture sila and most likely they would plug that into their how they are rating you, no? Kunwari, mas gusto nila na paano ba? We value collaboration, communication, empathy towards others kasi nga magde-develop yun na skills and at the same time when you talk to clients, pangit naman kung hindi ka marunong ng mga ganong skills, 'di ba? So, ayun, parang ano siya, company specific. But yun, as progression for you ba, does that mean I really have to handle people? Because that's also another skill, right? Like leadership is another skill and yun nga, may mga saying, di ba, na not everyone's a leader, right? I'm a strong follower. So, how about for those people?
Right. Siguro I'll start na lang, no?
Sige, Don.
So at least for White Low kasi, from software engineer, so from trainee, software engineer, trainee, software engineer, you have so many forks. So engineering manager is just one. Siguro ito yung really more, parang ang formalized really,
Common.
parang making other people stand out. Talagang leadership, management skills.
Right.
Yeah. But there are other forks pa din. So for example, solutions architect. If you're into theories, you got optimization. If you like design patterns, that's one career path na you can choose from. And there are others as well. For example, DevOps. Ayan. Depende sa domain expertise mo eh. So dalawa yung nangyayari. Either nagiging natural siya. So for example, we assign this person to do these particular tasks. So, kunwari, CI/CD, ganyan. Parang naturally, it would transition to a more DevOps role. Na-enjoy nga naman na eh. But what I would suggest is, you set your career goal. Like, what's your 5-year career plan? Do you really want to be specialized, parang senior software engineer na merong platform expertise, say front-end, or you have a certain domain expertise like software engineering but more of security, cybersecurity, ganyan. Or you wanna jump to adjacent roles like software architect or DevOps or even Scrum Master. Yan. So you have to set that goal muna. Tapos from there, how we do it is we give them the opportunity. So yun nga, parang we tell our engineering managers or supervisors na if we're always open eh. For example, there's a software engineer who shifted sa White Cloak to UI UX designer. So may mga ganong opportunities din. So for example, we're hiring solutions designer. Before we offer that outside, we offer it sa White Cloak. So so yun, hindi naman siya, it's not something na scheduled eh. Yung opportunity comes and goes along the way. So we don't know. So para maging ready ka, parang take on your own free time, parang study na, take courses on maybe architecture, design patterns, create your pet projects, para when the opportunity comes, you have something to present na, I actually very keen on being a solutions designer. I've taken these courses, I've made these projects, and so on. And then most likely, we'll give you the opportunity to parang take on that role on a probationary basis. So that's, at least sa company namin, that's how it works.
Yep. To add lang din, yung another question ni Jerv na parang to progress to your career, is it really required yung people management skills niya? So, well, since sa White Cloak, we have different tracks. Meron kaming tracks for software engineer, meron kaming tracks for solutions architect, yan, meron kaming tracks for engineering manager. So, if software engineer siya, parang it's not required yung managing people's skills mo. Yun, pero if merong software engineer na he thinks na yun talaga yung gusto nilang gawin, like to manage people, we could easily ayun, if merong opportunity like maybe Scrum Master pala talaga yung gusto niya, yan,
Right.
more of or engineering manager. So yan, marami mga ganun. So yes, you could be a senior engineer sa White Cloak, tapos you still constantly improving yung yung people management skills mo, and you could decide na forever na yun na yung role mo sa White Cloak. So well, ngayon until senior pa lang yung levels namin, but Of course, in the future, possible pa rin naman yan na na malagtagan. Like yun nga, ngayon nga meron na tatawag na parang principal engineer, di ba?
Yeah,
So
or
I think
after that, parang head of engineering, director for
yeah,
engineering, all of
yeah,
that. Yeah, we actually
yeah.
have a very good question, by the way, guys, which is related to this, to this question, sa live. Sabi ni Joseph Bellamor Solon. Hi guys, this is great. Question, how do you evaluate someone who has been a senior dev and an expert on a certain tech stack, then suddenly management would require them a different tech stack, no? What are your expectations? It's a favor for the company for him to take on the challenge, but management also looks at results. But again, it's also new tech for him. So I guess that to finish the question, like, would you take it? What do you think about this opportunity? Should a senior developer take this, or pwede bang sabihin niyang no? I don't know. What do you guys think about this question?
I think it still depends on the context. Like, anong expectations? Kasi pwedeng maging unreasonable. Like, after one sprint, I want you full capacity, full velocity kagad after on the succeeding sprints. Parang for me, that's unreasonable. It's really, you have to discuss that with your supervisor, anong expectations. And I think kung okay naman yung company, they will be open to adjusting yung expectations if hindi siya realistic. But for me, always take on the opportunity to try out new things. Parang it can really help. Kahit na ang career path mo, ang desired career goal mo is to be very specialized on one platform, it
Yeah.
still helps na may alam ka sa ibang platform kasi you get a better perspective on those things. Na, for example, teammates mo, or you try to work with the people doing those things. Parang you get a better sense of how they're doing, and therefore, yun nga, parang it opens you up to working better with them.
I actually
Yeah.
agree. Yeah, from a personal perspective, who's taking it on, new stuff will usually help progress your domain knowledge, your scope. That would help. That would become useful experience. At the worst, that you even like doesn't work out, like the actual new fresh experience actually helps. But yeah, you would also have to align expectations of like, Teka, I'm fresh, all right? Like I know I'm senior in this other thing, but here I'm a newbie, so kind of like adjust expectations.
Yeah, I guess I could probably tie it back to the answers that Don and Migs and actually Albert na rin kanina mentioned na it's a communication thing din na while you are willing to do that, no, it's gonna be good, but you have to communicate to your manager or to your senior or management team or the executives, right? Na hey, this is something new. I mean, I'm willing to take on this challenge, but the expectations has to actually be set din siguro, no? Parang, and I think if you're, in a good company, good manager, they would actually appreciate you taking on that challenge. And yun nga, parang like what Don mentioned, no, parang it should be parang fair din, no, na the expectation should be parang attainable, I guess, no? Hindi yung unreasonable. Yeah. Ikaw, Migs, anything to add?
Yeah. I think parang frequently nangyayari naman tong ganito wherein yung sa project na to, ito yung tech stack na gamit mo, tapos let's say senior level you're a senior na, let's say yung tech stack mo is React.js, then na-transfer ka sa another project, Angular, kunyari yung tech stack na. Hindi naman bababa yung levels mo or na maging parang junior ka ulit. So you're still a senior. And in terms of expectation, yes, it needs to be aligned then. And yun, in some cases naman kasi they would give you time then to learn yung new technology na yon. Let's say you'll conduct R&D and create a sample project, then after that saka kayo mag-start dun sa actual na na development. So I think they will they should give you time then to adjust then. And you can set yung expectation nila na do you need a week ba, 2 weeks, 3 weeks para aralin yung bagong technology na yon. Pero yung another advice ko lang is, of course, this is just a new technology. Don't forget to apply yung mga practices na ginagawa mo doon sa previous technology na, like if you're writing test na doon sa previous project mo, you're using React. If you transition to a new technology, make sure na ma-adapt din yung or ma-implement din yung mga practices na yun. And sa White Cloak actually, yung competency matrix namin is hindi siya tied up dun sa technologies. So we actually focus more on sa sa mga parang foundational skills of
Competencies, no?
yeah,
Skills, ganun.
competencies. Yeah,
Versus
like
specific.
testing, yan. Yeah.
Correct. Actually, tama yung sinabi ni Paul Justin Aranza Mendez. Sorry if I murdered your family name there, sir or bro. Might want to weigh in on the tech stack that the dev was involved with to better assess how steep the his transition would be, no? And it helps with management then on how fast he'll grow on the new stack. Yeah, tama. I think nga siya, parang both ways, no? You manage up as the senior developer, but also the manager or the executives would also manage the expectations. There's another question here, guys. Do senior engineers need to handle other engineers as well? Yun, I think related to sa tinanong ko kanina. Oo, parang pagka ba higher up na ako, required ba na mag-manage ako ng mga tao?
Ayun, so at least sa amin, yung software engineers, they're the ones who manage people. So pag senior software engineer ka, you don't have direct reports. You're still an IC. It's just that if you're a
Individual contributor.
individual contributor within a Scrum team, parang you're also expected to kind of be the person who leads discussion. Ganyan. You're supposed to be the more knowledgeable, the one with most experience, ganyan. So in a sense, yes, there's no direct report, there's no supervision that's tied up to your JD. Pero many times you're expected to lead your team pa rin.
So what does leading mean, like in that
Leading.
context?
Right. So for example, in a context of a sprint, parang merong dependency and suddenly you can't progress anymore. And so as a leader, parang you should be able to be the one na proactively seeking for ways to resolve the issue. So syempre depende pa rin sa context. Kunyari, ang problema is HR related. So syempre hindi mo na role yun. Pero kung may technical side of things yon, parang you're more expected to step up Parang hindi naman necessarily na ikaw yung may alam, pero you lead the discussion na parang, okay, what do you guys think to do para we have some progress to present to the manager or to the stakeholders during our sprint review, even though we have these impediments. So parang ganun siya. Parang you're more motivational, you're more driving the discussion and so on.
Yeah.
So for example, if somebody like a developer is lagging behind in your team as a senior, you're expected to watch out for that, kind of like lead address that.
That's the engineering manager yun. So the engineering managers, they're the ones who's responsible for software engineers. So even senior engineers have engineering managers assigned to them. Parang yun talagang supervisor nila.
Parang line, kumbaga reporting talaga.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I think just to add siguro, because I think we follow a very similar Don, how we rate and also in effect in layman's term promote others, no, also in UBX parang may individual contributors, at the same time meron ding people managers talaga. And from that fork mag-focus sila towards more leadership and management, no? Some business skills as well to be learned. But I think even as an IC kasi, it doesn't mean you're not gonna talk to anybody. And the fact na, for example, senior ka na and high level ka na, let's say for example, React, no? Or Nest.js, for example, magiging go-to person ka talaga kasi expert ka. And most likely, HR or the line managers, or in your case, parang engineering managers, no, would probably consult you also on how could we say na ito junior developer, ito mid-level, ito senior. Ano ba yung dapat nilang matutunan, no? Kasi ikaw yung expert in that field So expect that siguro, no, to happen actually. Not necessarily handle them, no, na ikaw yung magre-rate sa kanila, are they doing well, but expect for you to contribute in that matter kasi yun nga expert ka so you would probably know na okay, I think junior level ganito yung amount of like skill set niya, no, versus a mid-level senior. So may ganun talaga.
Yes, completely agree, Don Jerv.
Cool. We're getting close to the hour, but it seems like a very good discussion though so far.
I think we managed.
I guess so far kasi parang puro positive yung na-discuss natin. There's this interesting question that we actually prepared ahead of time. Like worst career mistakes. Could you
Sorry, Joseph.
enlighten?
We will skip your follow-up question.
Sige, Joseph, sagutin namin mamaya sa comments. Sorry about that. But yeah, going back to the question, like what would be the worst career mistakes that people could do, right? As
Or
they are
you've
starting
seen.
or you've seen para mas paano ba? Real. An example. If wala naman kayo nakita, siguro like what would you think na dapat iwasan ng isang software engineer maybe at the start of his career or even while he's progressing?
You want to start, Migs, or?
Yeah, go Don.
So siguro ang naalala ko lang dito, parang very specific um, time nung White Cloak na parang, yun nga, we were just starting out. Parang ako yung nag-i-interview ng lahat ng roles, even very technical ones. Kami ni Migs actually. So minsan kasi, they try to bloat their CV. Parang lahat ng courses, they put it in there kahit di naman nila natapos. Tapos, syempre,
Like you mean like Udemy courses like that?
mga Udemy courses, mga seminars, parang wow, very iba yung learning disposition niya, parang 3 pages, puro courses lang. But when I ask about the fundamental concepts on those lectures, kasi medyo same lang naman yan kahit na ibang sources parang he couldn't figure it out. So, major turn off yun kasi, well yun, one of our values is integrity Parang dun pa lang sa resume naglalay na. Paano pa sa mga sprint planning, yung mga estimates, di ba? It's all based on trust and integrity kasi. So,
Correct.
yeah. If you put something to your resume, be sure you're able to validate that through interview, yung mga concepts sa mga lectures na kinlaim yung inatinan mo or certificate, you should be able to defend that during the interview. What else? Siguro yon reiterate lang dun sa career mistakes. I guess, yun nga, try to be more, parang better judgment on choosing, kasi ang daming job offers ngayon, very in demand ng mga IT professionals. Parang there's so many offers na, parang try to, focus on the job itself rather than pay and salary at saka yung company name. Siyempre, company name important din. Parang part yan dapat ng initial parang filter mo. Siyempre kung baka may history of scam or gambling stuff.
Yeah.
Pero yung job, I think that's the most important. Is it aligned with your career goal? Is it a great stepping stone to what you're going to be doing?
Correct.
What do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Correct. Parang learning versus earning. Parang ganun. Parang you prioritize the lessons, learnings, or the experiences that you will get at the start of your career. Now, depende din kasi, different circumstances for different people. But if you're okay financially and, hindi naman nagkakalayo yung sweldo nung dalawang offers, go for the one that would actually give you more experience. No? So, I
Yeah.
think yun yung sinasabi ni Don dito. Migs, ikaw, worst career mistakes that you've seen or like or advice for people to avoid?
Yeah. I think worst career mistakes na na-encounter ko the past few years is merong isang parang software engineer na is not willing to step up or grab yung yung opportunity. So minsan kasi parang we talk to software engineers then let's say dito sa isang project na to kailangan ng we need someone to represent yung team. So we have this role before we called na team captain, wherein we expect him to facilitate, guide, and mentor yung yung team. So it's really a parang opportunity na that could land to you anytime o usually ginagawa talaga namin sa mga projects.
Yeah.
Pero yun, we've encountered people na they don't want to take up yung they feel na it's an additional responsibility. So yeah. So I think there are people na not that open to or not that welcoming when it comes to new challenges or new opportunities. Right. And yeah, it's actually parang your time to shine then, di ba? You experience yung and Yeah, I think yung isang ano ko na na experience ko.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
That's
I have a
actually,
question.
go ahead, Bert.
Sorry. Okay, so um, this is because it seems like we over here we built like kind of like a career over long term in like a single place. So what do you think about this advice that's going around about like the best way to increase your salary, accelerate your salary growth is to actually like apply to
Move to another
another
company.
company, yeah, and just go like hopping. This is like the apply to another company is like the best way to increase your salary, accelerate over a very short period of time. Bakit di
I
mo
I
think
ginawa, Migs?
what
Bakit di mo ginawa?
Maganda daw yung sweldo ni Don.
yeah. Okay naman ako sa white no. Yeah. Pero yeah, I know that. Oo. And nangyayari talaga siya eh. Oo. Um, I don't know actually if o if ano yung dapat gawin ng mga ng mga companies yon to prevent that. But yeah, I see that it's really happening lalo now na in demand na talaga yung IT and parang
Yeah.
mga tech companies nag-aagawan na ng yun ng hires. Yan. I
Yeah.
think yeah, from our side, this is also the reason why we decided din na siya na gawing parang frequent yung namin, yung promotional board namin
Mm.
since yun nga is also to compete with with other companies na yeah, quarterly ba naman pwede kang mag-apply for for promotion if you think na deserve mo na talaga. So instead of looking a new job, parang there's a clear career progression sa
So what do you think
sa
of like a person who has like, for example, somebody applies to you and you see them like that's what they're doing, right? Or you kind of notice that that's what they're doing, like 1 year, 6 months, 1 year. Do you discriminate against that? I mean, discriminate is a tough word. Do you feel off about that, or what's your thoughts, or you don't care?
we care definitely. Siguro depende kung gaano ka yung hop eh. Like 6 months, 6 months. Baka hindi na namin interview. Pero hindi like 1 year, little bit more than 1 year. Tas sobrang galing. Pwedeng i-overlook eh, yung medyo job hopping behavior. Pero siguro yung advice ko rin is think of yourself as your brand. Kasi forever record mo na yun eh. Parang
That's a good one.
I would hire, yun nga, senior software engineer na 1 year. Pero I wouldn't hire VP and above na ganun yung behavior. So magkakaroon ka ng parang when it comes to future, parang higher level opportunities. Siyempre, I don't wanna take naman somebody na management tapos after a year or two, alis rin kaagad. So medyo hindi siya magandang reputation. So
Yeah.
yun. So siguro to add lang ang sinabi ni Migs, kaya namin in-apply rin yung promotional board just because of that tendency. I think nag-root to based on siguro yung old frameworks na may limitation yung HR up to how much ilang percent increase per year ang pwede nilang i-grant to an employee. Pero kasi iba yung IT industry eh. Ang bilis din talaga ng career progression if you're really good at what you're doing. That's why we removed all those barriers and limitations sa promo boards namin.
Cool. All right, last question. Jared, what's our last question? Like, what's our big Miss Universe question here?
I think it's just really final thoughts and advice to our viewers, no? I think we've talked a lot tonight. No, we've even gone off a tangent on how we rate people, right? So how we started with our careers, for example. Maraming skills na na-mention that are important. But siguro if there's any like one thing that you guys want to leave our audience tonight, Don and Migs, no? Uh, please do share at this moment siguro to close.
Sa akin siguro to summarize lang din what I've I guess encouraged throughout the discussion tonight. Parang number one, in terms of growth, dalawa siya palagi, technical. For technical, don't get stuck on the things you're already doing at work. Parang try to explore adjacent fields, yan, ML,
Mga
DevOps,
ganun.
whatever, yeah. But also don't forget na yung other side of things is grow as a person. Like, yun nga, parang yung culture, yung values, like your work ethics, professionalism, sometimes how you manage your own conflicts, your disagreements with your teammates. Yan, you have to improve that. And for you to improve that, you have to, yun nga, make conscious effort. You have to, from time to time, you have to parang internalize. Parang, may awayan. Take some time to think kung tama ba yung actions na ginawa mo and how you improve moving forward. And lastly, yun nga, I mentioned it earlier, set a goal for yourself. Kasi kung wala kang goal, and common mistake to, kung wala kang goal, you're not never gonna go there. Parang you're leaving everything to chance. Kasi that also sets the mood to ano yung lectures or online courses na take mo during your free time, pet projects, and so on. So that's it for me. Yan, Mix.
Yeah. I think to add lang din doon is, I think I mentioned ko na rin yan, keep challenging yourself then. Na don't be afraid to take new opportunities. Don't be afraid to go out of your comfort zone. Yan.
Yeah.
I think one of the reason we're able to grow White Cloak then from 6 developers to now is we keep on taking on challenges. Building Union Bank online was a very big challenge for us, and we overcome it. Me transitioning from being a developer, individual contributor to a manager, that's also a very big challenge and a very big decision then to make for me. And I think it's a never-ending challenge dito sa IT journey. And another one is of course, enjoy the journey. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's fine. If you made a mistake, learn from it, move on, make sure na hindi siya uli mangyari again. Pero probably you'll make mistakes. That's fine. Pero enjoy mo pa rin yung journey. And I think isa yun sa sobrang kahit na when we were building yun yung mga online, puyat talaga kami diyan. As in umaabot kami ng madaling araw, but we really enjoyed building that up, since we know na once we launch yung MVP, it's gonna be it's gonna change the banking industry and ayun nga. So be lang din. Enjoy yung enjoy. I think lastly is learn from others, of course. Most of the time, if meron kang problem, if you ask for someone's help, possibly na yun yung masasagot agad nila yun eh. And kung di man nila masagot, they could provide insights sa'yo or maybe redirect you to others na na mas makakatulong sa'yo. And don't just rely on your own experience to grow your career. Parang rely on others and read books. If you want to learn about Agile, read a book about Agile. Read some blogs out there. And I think it will really help you grow since you're actually learning from the experience of others. So yung mga mistakes na nagawa nila, you could learn from it. So and of course watch CTOsDiscuss.
Thanks for the plug.
Maraming learnings ito, guys.
So last thing, Donn, can you remind people about your bootcamp, your program? Yeah, go ahead, and then we'll end with that one.
Yes, so thank you, Alberto. So again, we have this exciting opportunity for fresh graduates, career shifters, or people early in their career sa IT. So you want to have a 5-month program wherein we train you the best practices, latest tech stack. Head out to our website, whitecloak.com/careers and apply. So we have 30 slots. So hopefully I meet you there. Thank you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone.
Thank
you, Donn. Thanks, Migs. And everyone watching.
Thanks, Dan, Albert, and
Right.
Bye-bye. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Thank you. See you guys next
What I've
time.
seen that hinders a lot of people in general is they believe that doing their job well actually gets them promoted.
How would you demystify AI for a 10-year-old?
It's actually harder to explain AI to an older person. Hi, welcome to CTOsDiscuss.
So you want to work in big tech companies like Google and Facebook, or create your own startup like Airbnb and Instagram? OmniQuotient is here to help. OmniQuotient is an online learning platform where you can learn something new from prominent developers every day while creating meaningful connections with them. Just go to omniquotient.com. Follow the topics that you want to learn and the developers you want to learn from. Share your tips and tricks in coding and interact with other developers. Join the OmniQuotient community today.